People do let
age
themselves
very well.
go, but like if you're fit, like, you know, Equinox, like 48-year-old, you're my type.
Like, I think I was better looking when I'm 35. I was better looking when I was 25, to be honest. Even if I was like the exact same weight, I'm pretty confident I was better looking at 25.
I think you can make yourself as attractive as you want, like your goals.
Can
like,
you?
Yeah, I genuinely think that. Not like plastic surgery. I think if somebody works out and gets the type of body they want, their confidence goes with their style. I think confidence is key to look attractive. It's the way you walk, it's the way you talk, it's the way you dress, in my opinion. I think everyone's attractive, but they just have to put the effort in. Like, anyone could be successful too.
I don't really feel like arguing that, but I think there's just some people that are kind of doomed.
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
That's fair.
Doomed.
That's fair.
Anyways, it's not really worth arguing that one. But did you have more of any more inquiry, Andrew? Did you want to inquire?
I mean, I think that is worth arguing a little bit, right? So, confident and ugly is still ugly.
True.
I'm saying
I
if you
agree.
put in the work to be attractive, you can't be like the grossest looking person and have confidence. I think confidence and effort go together hand in hand to get that attractiveness. Like, if anyone here, like, I'm not saying anyone's bad, I'm saying if anyone here wanted to like completely get just like ripped at the gym and like dress better, like, you could get there.
But if we assess this, if we assess relationships, I think inside of a relationship, the most common answer that I hear is the attractiveness, the physical attractiveness has to be there, right? Both parties have to be physically attracted to the other party. They have to. If they're not attracted to them, they don't have any interest in them whatsoever, right? So that has to be there. So you could say confidence is key to making yourself more attractive. I don't even disagree, but I think that it is mitigated by your physical characteristics more than anything else. So I think that your attractiveness is going to be your physical characteristics. That's going to be the primary. And then other kind of like subsets, like maybe a good sense of humor, confidence level, things like that. I think that those matter, but to a way lesser degree. Would you agree with that?
I think everybody has a different type. I think confidence is attractive, and I like, you know, different features than you might like and everyone else likes. So when somebody...
But hang on. Let me stop real quick. We'll just back up a little bit. I'm not disputing that everybody's going to have different tastes. They're all going to have different preferences, this kind of thing. Some men like brunettes, some men like blondes, blah, 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 blah. I agree with that. However, there are beauty standards and characteristics, which we can all agree we all pretty much want. So here, let me give you an example. Raise your hand at the table if you would like to increase your weight.
You can raise it.
Right? No, nothing. No, yeah, just maybe Madison. Right? So one, out of all of you. So clearly you must think that thinner is more attractive, right?
That's what I'm saying.
These are like universals, though. And if these are universals, then there has to be some things that we're all basically agreeing on when it comes to physical characteristics.
I think it depends on who you're asking, because there is like that little subgroup online that's interested in larger women.
But I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
So I'm not disputing that there's going to be outliers to this. I'm not disputing that there's not going to be
talking
like...
about like general
there's some guy out there who wants a double burn victim who has her tongue hanging out through her teeth and a hunch on her back. I'm sure that guy exists somewhere on this planet, okay? But I'm not talking or speaking to him. I'm speaking to just kind of generally what people find attractive in other people. So while I can say I think that men definitely prefer blondes or brunettes, I think that they still prefer them to be on the thinner side.
That's
with
what I'm
kind
saying.
of with a curvy waist and big boobs. I think that there's like going to be some universals there, right?
That's what I'm saying, is you could get there. Like, not all the time, but most of the time you can work out and get that skinny body. Like, you earn those things is what I'm getting at. Like, you're not born and you're not destined to have these things. You could change these characteristics. If you want to be have brown hair, you dye your hair brown. If you want to be fit, you go to the gym, you eat healthy. That's what I'm getting at, is you could change your
Yeah, but I'm not really
scale.
disputing that. I'm just saying how much of that does confidence play into, and I'm not confident that it plays into a lot. So I would say that a person, for instance, on the woman, hang on, let me finish my point. I would say on the person's side, where, let's say that they're not very confident. A man is not very confident, but he has very chiseled features. He's tall and he makes a lot of money. That women will still find him more attractive than they will a short, bald guy who's fat.
I was hanging out with a guy that was perfectly my type, but he was like also a crier. He was also like, oh my God, I'm fat, I need to lose weight, and it was so unattractive to me. And he was like my type.
Yeah, I know, but you were hanging out with him, right?
We stopped hanging out because he got
but you
too much.
were hanging out with him, right?
Up until he got so
Yeah,
bad.
but you were hanging out with him, which means the physical characteristics trumped, at least for a time, the personality.
Yeah, but it was unattractive to me how he acted.
Sure, I'm not saying that there couldn't be things very attractive people do which are so annoying that it'll drive you away from them. I'm just saying that the key quality that we're looking for seemingly is there has to be some sort of attraction. So even if this guy was super annoying and you ditched him, you were still with him. Right? You were still with him for at least some length of time based on the fact that, like you said, he was totally your type, right?
That's valid. I mean,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm saying the confidence would have made him more attractive.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have, but to what degree?
If you
right?
sit
To
there
what degree? Because the reason you were with him is because of these other characteristics besides that thing, right?
Yeah, I think the way you talk, the way you walk, if you go around thinking you're the baddest in the room, I think that's attractive. Maybe that's, just me. Mm-hmm. And I think that being confident in yourselves gives you this, like, more outgoing vibe to you that, like, changes your perspective. And I'm saying that goes along with how you look. I know we're talking about looks here. Mm-hmm. I think it goes along with looks because if you're confident, you stand up, you look taller. If you're confident, you go outside more and dress like in more flattering clothes, like that fit you better rather than a big hoodie that hides your body. If you're confident, that means you probably have better mental health and you're actively working on how you look.
Competency can be described in many different ways. Like there's very ugly men who are very, very confident, right?
Sure.
Perhaps they have some skill set or something like this, which drives the ego up and the confidence up. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'm not disagreeing that confidence is not or an attribute that women would want. I'm sure that it is. I'm just saying that initially, there still has to be the physical attractiveness for you to even give him a shot to even learn what his personality is to know if he's confident.
Correct.
Yeah. So I think on the category scale here, then we're still looking for physical attractiveness first. That has to be present.
I think in regards to like dating apps and men dating in general, on both ends with the confidence part, I think that you would have to have enough confidence in yourself to even get on the app or to go out and try to date. So I think that confidence plays a factor in just your availability on the market in general, because if you're constantly thinking, oh, I'm not good enough, or, oh, I'm not going to even try to date, then you're kind of limiting yourself to the opportunity to get out there and date. So, well, I think, like, even for myself, you can better your looks. I think you do have to have some sort of internal confidence to even get to the point of dating.
Yeah, but I think that that's tangential. So the thing is let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's assume for a second that you could only pick between two guys, and these are the only two who are available. You're on a desert island, okay? One is 5'2", he's bald, he's short, and he's fat. Guy 2 is 6'2", he has abs, full head of hair, right? And the colored eyes that you like. Which guy would you pick? And oh, by the way, first guy, short, bald, fat guy, super confident. Guy 2, he's a little shy.
I would need to know more about them than their physical appearance and if they're shy.
Okay.
If we're stranded on a desert, I just want to get with the attractive guy. I just don't want to like hear him talk. I'll walk away and find water.
Right, exactly. And I think that's an honest answer, right? I think
you're right on that aspect.
I think the honest answer is, hey, look, I'd much rather be with the attractive shy guy. I don't have to deal with his shit, right? I would still physically prefer him, and that needs to be present, right?
I think we're on the same page. I think what I'm getting at is confidence plays a factor, and it's not the full thing. I agree with you. It's not everything.
Yep.
I just think it does play a huge factor in how you value yourself and who you go for.
I wonder how much it plays. because I think it does play a factor. I'm not mitigating that, right? But let's say this is the other reason we use this kind of like point scale system, 1 to 10, right? So I think if you're a 5 as a guy and you're super confident and you do a lot of work on your body to make it physically attractive, you can maybe bump that up 2 points, maybe. And that's really trying everything. Maybe you could bump it up 2 points. I think that for women, going from a 4 to, a 6 or a 7, that's really just a matter of losing some weight generally. And that's really, it doesn't take much more than that, right? It doesn't take much more than that. So I still think that physically attractive men, the pool of them is much smaller from what women consider to be physically attractive than the other way around, meaning what women find physically attractive in men.
I like fat men sometimes. I like a fat daddy.
What?
Was that guy who you beat up, was he fat?
He used to be fat. That's when we
And
were
then he-
together.